I kind of joke a lot that we're a podcast for smart people, but like...
Well, we're just learned men, really.
I know,
we're college.
Learned adult men in collegiate.
We're college age guys. In like the sense of like a 1905 college person with like a late 1800s sort of like...
The kind of people who would go to the improv show at fucking during 1950s, like, original improv, long form, Second City, like the Compass Players beginning of those things.
Just want to do a quick disclaimer that this next part here is a satire about the large amount of racism during the sort of in the arts scene at the beginning of the improv field in Chicago, and this is not in any way a genuine endorsement of the ideas expressed during the satirical bit that follows.
Like the kind of learned sort of Chicagoans who went to University of Chicago or whatever else down where there were no black people. And the sun was always shining.
Chicago, a land with no black people and constant sun.
So much sun there, it's always hot.
So much sun that you would think there would be more black people.
You would think. But there's not.
They keep
there's
busting them out.
There's just a lot of very red white people. Oh no. Oh, sorry, did I say red? I meant well-read. They're University of Chicago students. They're not sunburnt. They know how to put on sunscreen. Yeah. They're smart.
Oh, man. There really is. This book is so fucking weird. I don't know. Whatever.
You don't have to use that book.
I do not have to use this book. I could do a reading in Greek, but that'd be dumb. It's
Why don't you just talk about something?
My mother once lived in Louisiana, and my grandmother would have this story about how she just barely got out before Hurricane Katrina. My mother worked for Amoco back when Amoco was still Amoco and not a subsidiary and label of BP, British Petroleum. But my mother was in HR, and she was in Louisiana, and she was there about a year and a half before Katrina ever happened. But whenever my grandma tells it, my mom got out by the skin of her teeth on the last airplane out of New Orleans before the hurricane hit. And my grandmother, as previously discussed, is kind of just insane sometimes.
Well, yeah, that'll happen with
age. Yeah.
I was in Mississippi when Katrina hit. And
yes.
So... What?
No, continue.
No, I'm just... Well, you're saying
Do you
yes,
remember?
I do remember. I remember. Back in the day when I was in Mississippi, a whole, 15 years ago, whatever.
Yeah.
We had this, fucking hand crank radio shit, because of course we did, because it was Mississippi, and, we didn't have that much money that we would have, a generator to crank our radio for us. So we had the hand crank radio, and I remember there was a day my dad went to the store. I don't know if this is real or if this was, a nightmare that I had, but, I have anxiety. I know that it's a genetic thing for me. I know it's part of my family, so I definitely did as a kid too. My friends called me a worrywart all the time, and I just thought they were dumb. And they used the word worrywart too. I had nerdy friends.
Kids didn't
I had friends that would if
it's
they were
a fictional child.
It's like a fictional child that would say worrywart and spray nasal spray up their nose and wear glasses with tape in between them, and that wasn't really what my friends looked like except for one of them. And then I had a couple of the other ones that sort of gave off that vibe, because that was about all I could pull, and frankly I'm glad.
Yeah.
At this point in time, when I still have those friends today, I'm very glad that those people are the people that I ended up becoming friends with. So, no complaints. Anyway, so we were in Katrina, and I remember, school was canceled, so that was, the best, but also, I was definitely scared. Mm-hmm. I thought everything was going to be okay, but there was also some sense that it wasn't, and I have not ever thought about that until right now. But there was definitely a period of my life when I remember, like, when school was shut down, and this was why. It was how long school was shut down. I'm like, I've never seen anything like this before. Notification. I've never seen anything
offline.
I'm not trying to hijack your intro, by the way.
No.
Cut me off whenever. But I've never seen anything like this before. And, like, the world is ending. You know, like, it's not, and it probably won't. But it's like, you don't know. And it's kind of like back before science happened, like in the 1500s, like, we thought that Zeus was throwing lightning at us because we just didn't know. And that's kind of what it was like. You can only compare your own worst to your own worst. You can only compare things to your knowledge base. And so I didn't have a knowledge base for this. And the back of my house was ripped off. Like, the roof of the back of my house, my porch was ripped off. Our roof tiling was not great. Like, it didn't look great. I wasn't in the center of the hurricane or anything, like Jackson, Mississippi area, something like that. But it was bad. And it was scary. And then everything was fine. And I don't remember the transition. And that's, I think, the weird thing about growing up is you don't remember the transitions. You just remember the times when you were scared. You remember the times when things were good. What?
Do you think you have a lot of, like, repressed memories? Not you, but, like, people in general of just, like, shit? Or does it's just the unimportant stuff just fades away?
Well, so I don't know. I think there's a lot more storage in general from my understanding of psychology in the classes I've taken. Not a million, but enough. We have like a storage of memory, that, like, an episodic storage of memory, essentially, that goes back very, very far. And we have as far as we know, infinite capacity to continue that episodic memory, which is, or our crystallized memory, essentially, which is, of course, going to get better as you get older, as your fluid memory, your working memory gets a little slower, your processing speed, your grandma's kind of crazy. And you lose some of your ability to recall some of that, but, like, you even see with people, like, oh yeah, I remember that, right? Like, and of course, memory is incredibly malleable. So every time you recall a memory, you're recalling the last time you recalled that memory. And also adding in any new information that people are saying has happened. And the human mind is very suggestible. So, like, I'm sure whatever story I just told you, I'm probably missing things. I'm 100% missing things. I probably got some of the details wrong. Every story everyone tells forever gets the details wrong. Two people watch the same football game. That's not even the same football game. That's two different games that they just saw. And this is, like, studied repeatedly. It's people have their own realities, and those realities change, and there is zero consistent record of any of what actually happened. There is only the present moment, essentially, as far as I know. Like, anything could have been created all last Thursdayism. It could all be right now. This could be the genesis of everything. All of your memories just started, right?
I really like that Last Thursdayism is called Last Thursdayism.
It's really funny.
It's the best day of the week, I think, for that.
It is the best day of the week for that. It's because it's last Thursday. Like, that's when shit happens.
Yeah.
It happened last
Thursday. Fuck, it went down last Thursday. Were you there?
About a week ago.
Maybe.
Well, because, like, I feel like you're hanging out, like, on Friday night, and you're like, it was just over a week ago. It was probably last Thursday. Like, something like there might be something to that. You're telling stories on the weekend. It was last Thursday. I remember because it was just over a week ago, but... So maybe that's just what you end up telling stories about. I wonder if that has to do with memory. Like, are you just remembering stuff that happened about that long ago, like an availability heuristic type? Like, it's last Thursday because whoever called it that tends to remember stuff more often that happens on their last Thursday.
I think Thursday's just a funny day.
It is also just kind of a funny day, but so is Monday.
No, it could be Tuesday. It could be Tuesday or Thursday. I think the letter T.
But last Tuesdaysm does not have the same.
I think you could do it.
It's the last. It has a hardness to it. It has, like, it's a pleasing sound. Last Thursdayism, it doesn't have that same, but you get the day, and then Tuesday you get both of that, but I think that's almost why I don't like it, is there's less variation in the words, in the word.
Welcome to etymology, history, psychology. We really are liberal arts students.
We really are. We're talking about poetry and word construction and syllabic structure. I learned a bunch about piano yesterday. I gotta show you that later, because I played some music. Anyway, let's try and get back on track. We're keeping a theme. We're getting off theme now. But if we're trying to do this herald structure, let's try and do it. No, we're not going to do a herald. But let's try and complete the
the
monologue.
intro.
Yeah, do the intro.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So
And that's a good idea.
Oh,
Good Idea is a brain trust your brain can trust. It's a comedy podcast where we find creative, actionable solutions to your real-life problems.
I'm Aiden Kinsella.
I'm Bradley Berklich,
And
this is Good Idea.
All right. Hey, Bradley, we just told some stories. We talked about Hurricane Katrina. We talked about Texas, your grandma. How did we start all that? What was even... What Louisiana?
Yep.
We talked about Louisiana. So
That was spurned by this thing I can see right ahead of me, because that in the corner of my house, way over there beyond the door, is the Louisiana alphabet, where they use L as Louisiana, and then half the letters there's nothing in Louisiana that looks like them, so they just constructed them out of crayfish.
There.
You
That's
can tell
a very good joke.
those are the red ones.
Yeah.
And like, it's like maybe like 3/4 of the letters
That
are
seems
crayfish.
Like I just kicked the table. Oh, damn it. Oh, shit. Okay, yeah, that seems like something that, like I feel like I would do, just sitting on my computer, like, trying to solve a graphic design problem, you know? Like, I was making my Herald Knights flyer when that guy at the... I was telling Bradley earlier today about the Amtrak station, and this guy that decided to unplug a system, a computer system owned by the company of the building we were in, that was a kiosk for customers to use to plug his phone in because, quote, I didn't offer to let him plug into my computer to charge his phone. And he didn't ask me to do that either. Like, because I didn't cold offer this random stranger to come interact with me in a very sort of uncomfortably personal way. Like, there's just a proximity there that I don't want with strangers in Chicago. You know?
Yep.
You know, like, I just felt so uncomfortable.
As people from Lake Forest, I told this to Aiden, and Aiden knows this, and I know this. We are very privileged to not have to interact with complete assholes most of the time.
Most of the time. Well, just because there is so much, like, society.
Refinement.
There's a lot of privilege here. And because of that privilege, there is a lot of refinement.
Yeah.
And so, like, there are definitely drawbacks to it, too. But I think that a lot of the people here don't see that, and that's an interesting thing about living where we live, and you and I have talked about this so many times, like, it's a really, really great, beautiful place with lots of cool stuff, and lots of bad shit. There's lots of stuff about Lake Forest that is not, like, I love diversity of thought and of culture. It's one of my favorite things about having gone to college, is, like, I'm still in Lake Forest, but at my college, there's people from all over the place, like, all over the place. And a lot of them are from Illinois, but not a majority, I don't know. Maybe, if a majority, then everyone else is from all over the place. Mm-hmm. And that's so cool. I love that. Like, it's definitely close, though. Mm-hmm. I know it's, like, in the 50%. One of them is 50-something%, I think.
That sounds like Illinois.
It sounds like Illinois.
Yeah.
It's my guess. Mm-hmm. But then the other one is... obviously, everything else.
It's probably California.
That's all California.
Yeah, Illinois and California.
There's some California. We have
California makes so much fucking people.
They do.
Everywhere I go, there's
so many Californians. Yeah, and you can tell.
You can totally tell.
I feel like I always know when I see a Californian. Because they got that look about them, you know? Something about the way they look. It's the way that California people walk that makes me know who they are.
Do you think... I think I heard an accent tutorial on California once, and I'm sure I've mentioned this before, that you had to pronounce every syllable within the word.
You do.
Yeah. California.
California?
It's also... That's a great word to use.
There. That's crazy.
It's a great word to use when you're actually trying to imitate a California accent. It's good. It's very convenient.
I'm from California. It is very convenient to have that word to introduce myself. Because I like to establish sort of where I'm coming from. Which is what I'm saying when I say I am from California. It's a very handy word to tell people where I am from as a way to indicate my location. There's nothing else about me saying the word California that tells people where I'm from.
you want to do it prompt?
Yeah, we can do a prompt. That was fun. That was a good intro. I was happy with it.
I'm fucking on the old dock again. God damn it.
Oh, god damn. I thought you were going to say the old mic. I was so scared. And like, I've really been so happy with this.
No, we are in microphone Yeti stereo microphone 101 recording Microsoft Sound Mapper MME.
I'm really glad that you read all of that.
It's so the audience knows.
It's so the audience knows. You know, I get a lot of podcasters asking me what mic
Are you on MME?
Are you on MME? Hey.
Sure.
Yeah. Are you a podcaster? I'd like to call myself an MME fighter, actually.
My little brother's been super into MMA recently, but only in the capacity that he'll like grab me and then call it an MMA move. But like the other day, he's like, "I'm gonna put you in a guillotine," and he's like, "It's MMA," and I'm like, "You sure it's MMA?
That
you positive?"
MMA. I think that qualifies as MMA. You know, what doesn't, before we do a prompt, just really quick, is there anything that doesn't qualify as MMA? Hit us in any of our social medias. Let us know. Because I'm pretty sure, and I don't know what you think about this, Bradley, I'm about 100% sure that guillotines, the song, the French weapon, those two things are legal in MMA. And because I'm fairly certain that the only rule in MMA is there are no rules.
Feet.
Oh, no feet?
No, yeah. You can't kick, you can't touch.
Oh, you can't touch.
I have no idea.
With the feet?
I think maybe also no tongue.
I think tongue is encouraged but only in the pros. They don't allow tongue in Little League.
Little League MMA. Let your kids. That's a baby fighting ring.
Hey, we're here. It's me and Bradley, the Californians on Afternoon Shock Jock Radio, here to talk about the new kids MMA kid fights. Bradley, how are you doing today? What do you think about the new kids MMA? The new scene in our town?
I'm doing great, Aiden. I would love to just let these kiddos fight it out. In the corner of one ring, we have a child. In the corner of another, it's also a child. Two separate rings, then we shake them together like two cups and ants. Now they're gonna fight.
They're gonna fight now! Okay, oh, that kid just gave a really good left hook. Oh, his mom is giving him a week's grounding in his room for punching another kid. Oh, you hate to see that on somebody's first day.
Oh, someone's reaching out of the ring. What's he bringing out? It's a toy car. He's chucked it.
Oh, he's slashing the other kid's gums open with the toy car. Holy shit, this is disgusting.
At least teething will be easy.
That was a story. They pulled that actually. That was a pull from I believe it was my Uncle Paul, who apparently as a kid, according to my grandmother, now she'll tell tales. And Grandma, I say this with love. I don't know if you listen to this show. Like,
Grandma,
as we were talking about earlier, there's stories and things change with time. Every time you remember something, Rudy Giuliani retells 9/11 with more and more planes and towers every time. Every time you tell the story, it changes. So you get the
Pentagon flew into the White House. It was nuts. You should have been there.
It was crazy in New York. The Pentagon was flying into the White House. All of a sudden, two planes fly overhead.
Sir,
announcing Geico's arrival on the fucking insurance scene. There's a caveman, another caveman piloting the polygon.
Mr. Giuliani, isn't the polygon, the rhombus, isn't the rhombus in Virginia? No, it's all in New York. Everything's in New York. If we're doing a fucking geolocation shit on episode, New Yorkers, I've had enough.
What you talking about? What do you mean you had enough?
I've had enough.
You had enough of me?
I think you sound like you're from New Jersey.
That's basically the same thing, don't you think?
Ooh, I think New Jersey and New York is like basically the same
They're
thing.
basically the same thing.
Neither should be inhabitable. The Dutch left it. We should have just never gone back.
Everyone is dying in New Jersey.
That is fair. You have the gun.
I have the gun, you have the gun, we shoot the guns at each other, we both intend to miss. That's the plan. This is a duel, it's Hamilton time.
That's awful.
That was really bad, yeah. I was stalling because I wasn't sure sort of where we were going with the show right now.
Okay.
Because we were on a thread of kid fights,
I like it.
I was finishing my story. Right. So my uncle cut his gums open when he was teething with a toy car. So that was actually the fact that you pulled that was exactly. That's funny because that's like exactly what that story is about. So yeah, I like kid fights. This is our prompt now, by the way.
Kid fights? I feel like we've had kid fights.
We have had kid fights so many times, but this time it's an afternoon shock jock radio version where we talk about the kid fights like this. And we're not from California, even though I said we were. And I know that because Bradley doesn't walk like me.
Hello! I was once kicked out of Montessori school because I actually hit another kid with a toy car.
Are you serious?
I am serious. I was officially evicted from the Beverly Montessori school, which is right next to the train station. You went to
Montessori school.
I don't really even understand. Well,
This is not a judgment. This is a Montessori school's good.
I did go to Montessori school, and then I did not go to Montessori school. It was the span of about a week and a half.
And that's wild to me that they kicked you out for hitting another kid with the car. I know they keep heavy order at those places, but like yeah, they do. That's the thing is Montessori is often seen like as a contradiction because they think they just let kids hit each other with cars. But the contradiction is usually seen by people who understand what it is. Like it's not really seen as a contradiction, but it's kind of looked at as like, so we're going to keep heavy order, but within that order, you're going to have complete freedom. And that's how they give the children. And the kids have better learning outcomes. Montessori schools fascinate me. I don't know if I've ever talked about it.
I barely even know what it is, frankly.
Okay, well then I'll give you a little rundown.
Okay.
Granted, I took the developmental psych class. I learned this in like months ago, but it's fine. I'm going to do this from memory, and I'm just going to say when I don't know things. Play it at the top of your intelligence. Hell yeah. Okay. So at a Montessori school, what you're going to have is there's going to be a bunch of kids that are going to go there. And it's usually going to cost money because it costs money to run non-public education and it costs money to have the type of training that the people there have because the teachers go through a special type of schooling to teach at Montessori school. And the philosophy behind Montessori schooling is essentially the idea that kids will learn best if they are studying what they want to study. So they have like in the mornings, I think it is, or whatever, like a 3-hour whatever period, the kids can work on whatever they want. It's unstructured sort of work time. The only structure is that they are expected to be working on something. They can change their projects if they want. They can abandon things. There's not...
Parents, children, abandonment.
Parents, children, abandonment.
Yeah,
why are we having the parents abandon the kids? I guess
they can abandon their projects. They can abandon their... I think it's funny.
Parents can abandon their kids at the Montessori school to sort of become feral.
It's okay.
That's okay. And that's why Bradley is the way he is. For a week and a half. Like 1 week and a half of Montessori did this. Imagine what a whole Montessori education could do.
You'd be fucked.
You'd be the most powerful fucking person in the world, dude. If you had a Montessori education, Bradley, are you kidding?
Oh my god, I'd be tearing shit up.
You would have so many models of the Titanic that you built. Because that would be your project. That would have... Okay, I'll explain it in terms of Bradley. What?
Can we get another one?
Can we get another model?
Yeah, sure, Brad. You can build another...
Yes, Bradley. Here are... I need... 708 toothpicks and 8 marshmallows and 5 sheet metal pieces with 1 welding device and a sheet metal cutter. Every time. The sheet metal pieces are pre-measured. Okay, I had my parents order them for you. They paid for them. Can you just bring me one, please? I'm trying to build, I need to put the finishing touches on this one, but I need something to go to as soon as this one is done.
Give me a minute, Brad. Kathy, I know we're a Montessori school, but should we really be giving our child an arc welder?
I don't see the problem with that.
You are not part of this conversation. Strict rules, Mr. Berklich. Toy car incident.
Oh, that's how it happened, kids. See, that's why Bradley didn't go to Montessori school. But the thing is that I'm surprised they kicked you out. Because
I was really an awful kid.
You might have been, but they're supposed to support that, I think, as long as it's positive for the other children.
No.
But what they should have done not being an awful kid. That's not what they're supposed to support. I love Montessori school.
All the kids are assholes.
Everybody thinks Montessori school is so bad, but like they don't understand. The real philosophy behind Montessori school is to help kids be assholes.
Enable bullying. My project is to get as much lunch money as I possibly can.
It's a seriation project. I am trying to learn which direction the quarters, dimes, nickels, and pennies should be arranged in, and what order to create the best looking seriated money pattern out of all of the lunch money that I can gather within my 3 hours per day in the mornings. This project has a projected time span of this year.
At what angle will this block bounce off, Ed? Refraction equals refraction. Let me test again.
and what's nice too is they will, as part of their orderly thing, a big part of like they're going to let the kids work on whatever they want, but they have to make sure to use all the materials appropriately and put everything back in an orderly fashion. Like there is a lot of seriation to it. There's a lot of like mind work and like processing to make sure that people think in like orderly fashions. Like it helps people's brain. It's so cool. Like they have psychologists on all this, and that's why there's so much special training, and the teachers are supposed to make sure that the kids are supported in learning whatever they want to learn and make sure that the kids are following the discipline within that. And of course there is some regular afternoon teaching too, which I think some people don't think there is in Montessori, but there is. You have the day is broken up into like learning sessions with teachers and stuff, and also like supervised work time for personal projects, which is really cool. And it's a lot of what you see at it's like the Google of school. That's what it's like. It's like the Google of school. You know how Google's like an amazing place to work and the employees have good outcomes? It's like that. The people who go to Montessori test higher consistently, despite the fact that everyone thinks they're not doing actual school. Standardized tests.
That is
test
good.
higher. Because they're taught to think. They're like it's liberal arts
for children.
Liberal arts for kids. It's liberal arts for kids. It's Google for kids. But I think Google and the liberal arts philosophy work hand in hand very well. It's about drawing different parts of the company culture together at Google. I've watched The Internship. I know.
I have seen that funny movie.
I have seen that funny movie.
With,
I watched it.
Is that Vince Vaughn?
It was Vince Vaughn. He's
yeah,
from here.
baby.
Hell yeah. And Owen Wilson.
I met him.
Owen Wilson's actually very funny. I like Owen Wilson. Vince Vaughn's fine.
He seems okay.
He's okay. Yeah, I don't know. I've heard he's kind of a jerk.
Sometimes he comes to Market Square.
Does he really?
Yeah. Well, he's here probably a couple times a year.
I with work his cover band where they do like the grunge songs from the 80s.
Do they do that? I don't know that. He just stands on a box and he's like, he's like, I'm Vince Vaughn, and he's like there for like a half hour.
And people give him money, like
kinda, yeah. It's like reverse
like
begging.
Bills down his shirt, like that sort of thing. In his fucking dweeby ass shirt pocket, and he's like, good for you, you met me. Yeah. Like that, something like that.
Shake my hand, asshole.
Is anybody going to the Lantern after this? Do you want to buy my dinner?
Product of the Lake Forest High School theater department.
Man, I love theater so much, and if only our high school theater, the kids in it, the staff was good for the most part to me. Very good to me, but when I started doing theater, but the kids always made me feel so very unwelcome until I joined. And even when I joined, I didn't think it was intentional, but there was so much cattiness. I just felt so... Ugh.
High school cliques, baby.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't for me, is what I'm saying.
Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, You know.
Okay. So, we've done a lot of very silly goofing around. I think we should solve at least one problem this episode.
Here's my problem.
You got a problem?
Yeah. I can't find the prop stock.
Well, I can find it.
I've been searching for 20 minutes. I don't know where the fuck it is.
Stock.
It's so disappointing to me. It's just called Good Idea, but I can't find it anywhere.
Did you look in your recents?
Yeah. I just don't know where it be. I found this. This is good. This is in my untitled documents. I think this is valuable and you should see it.
Oh, that is very good. It's, Bradley, do you want to describe the image while I
it's a picture of Dr. Phil sort of like looking right into your soul, and below it, I think in what is either Arial or Helvetica, it just says "bruh" font size like 48, bolded. I'm almost certain this is the document that during school I would print out, and whenever like how people like they like sign up for our insurance or like whatever, like the people ask you for money and they give you an envelope with a pre-postage stamp. I just print that out and mail it to them every time without fail. And that's how people stop mailing me shit. It's like, would you like insurance for your car? I don't even own a car. Bruh. Get the fuck out of my P.O. box.
I don't understand why I can't find the prompts list. What the shit is up with this? So we check our Facebook group.
It's gonna take a while, but we can definitely. This is not like game breaking. It's not a game breaking bug. Speaking of game breaking bug, cockroach.
Is that like two things that are shaped like penises?
Did you?
No, like a cock and a roach.
I think
the kind you smoke.
Ah, yes.
Ah! I'm so funny. Okay,
2 prompts, 1 cup.
I never saw these prompts. I'm so stupid. I want to do this one from Jeff, our good friend Jeff Richardson from the Shattered Worlds RPG podcast that I'm also on, and also from our network, Sinister Parent Company. Check it out. Jeff Richardson sends in Lazy Susans 2.0.
Fast Susan. Motor powered, always on, have fun.
I like this idea. Is she a robot?
I think she's also just still a disc, but I think you may have to magnetize all your condiments in order for them to not be flung off by the centrifugal force or whatever.
I mean, yeah, I think a magnetized condiment is good. I always like to have them. What?
I'm just imagining it's like, mayonnaise, but with magnets. Yeah. You just pour it out and there's just magnets in it.
Look, I don't even know how magnets work, man.
Shit, science doesn't know how those things work either. I'm gonna be honest.
Magnets? How do they work?
No, well, they don't. Okay, but here's the... Nobody know.
Nobody knows how magnets work. We don't know. We say we know. Everybody's like, there's these poles and the molecules rearrange themselves and the electrons move around and it's...
Nobody knows.
That sounds like bullshit to me. Nobody know. Bradley, how do you think magnets work?
I don't fucking care. What I know is how I move them together and they stick, and then I pull them together and they come apart. I don't care how they work. I want to know how they interact. Okay. But it's probably elves.
Yeah.
Most things are elves.
We go to a small magnet ranch in Louisiana.
A manch
in Louisiana, where some people who work on the ranch are making magnets. Well, how do you reckon we make this magnet work? Because I don't understand how we make... Right now I have a piece of metal and another piece of metal, and that's supposed to be a magnet, right? Like I'm new here.
Tim.
Yeah?
I am old here, and it is not our job to question the ways of the magnets. We plant the seed in the ground.
All right.
12 years later, a magnet comes out of the seed. You see this magnet seed? We plant it.
That's a very small magnet seed. What do we call those?
It's a buckyball.
All right. And we put those in we put those row all in the ground.
And by the time we wait, an electromagnet they use for big cranes pops up out of the ground. It is not our job to question the ways of the Lord, the ways of His magnetism.
Indeed.
We just plant, we just harvest.
We just harvest. We don't want to question the ways of the Lord's magnetism. Now,
But if I had to guess, it would still be elves.
You think it's elves doing the magnets?
Well, you know how they used to make shoes and shit? I bet they do magnets too.
That makes sense. And that's where the L at the beginning of electromagnet comes from, is the L's?
Mm-hmm. Elves.
Elves, electromagnet. Yeah, that makes sense.
How?
Oh, hey, it's our boss. We're here at the Magnet Ranch. Good to see you. We're growing magnets in the ground.
It's good
Here
to
is
see
our
you.
seed.
This is an official announcement.
Yes.
He was back from the oral surgeon.
Yes,
He's
we will
resting
vacate.
uncomfortably on a short couch instead of a comfortable couch like the one that's down here. You can continue recording. I'm going to go get him a shake.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'll be back in a minute.
This is going to be, I think,
We're wrapping up here.
Yeah, a shorter-ish episode. I'd let Aiden know beforehand.
Okay, so when you come up and you're done, you can tell him.
I will tell him.
I'll be back in a few minutes.
How's he doing?
Well, he's had 4 wisdom teeth pulled.
So he's doing okay.
He's doing as well as one could expect.
All right.
See you in a few.
All right.
Bye.
Wow,
Oh,
it was weird.
That was a weird conversation with our boss.
It's so weird. He gets really mad if we talk to him like this. He thinks it's unprofessional. So we have to revert to our sort of Chicago roots. We moved here from there. Now, all right. So you're telling me these 2 pieces of metal I've been working with this whole time. That, like, I got hired a week ago. I've been trying to make these 2 things magnetized for like a week.
Oh, well, then you just rub the magnet on them.
Oh,
and that
okay.
magnetizes
Oh,
things.
that's because that's my job. I'm not one of the planters.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's okay. You figured it out. If you need anything else, come down to the ranch and I'll let you know.
All right. You wanna come into the kitchen with me? I got some crawdads boiling.
What the fuck is a crawdad?
It's what we make everything out of over here.
Welcome to the
All of them.
crawdad section.
Welcome to the crawdad section of the supermarket. I say to myself, that's what I say every time I go there.
Speaking of etymology.
Yeah, speaking of etymology, tell
What
me
the
more.
fuck is a crawdad?
What the fuck is a crawdad?
No. Like, what is it?
Are you actually asking me?
Yeah.
It's like a... Is that etymology or entomology?
We're at a convenient point where it's both.
It is both, isn't it?
Yeah. What the fuck is a crawdad?
It's a crustacean, right? Is it? No. Or is it a bug? It's an insect. No, it's not.
Is it? Yeah, but like, okay, what
Have
is
you ever
it?
seen? Okay. Nobody knows what species God is. And crawdads have arms, and so do people. And crawdads have legs, and so do people. And God is the Father. Crawdad.
Crawdaddy.
Christ. Crawdaddy. God, Father. The Godfather. I'm just thinking though, because God made humans in His image.
Oh, it's a
right?
crayfish.
Okay. Well, throw out the God
That was
idea.
solved.
I thought it might have been God, but I was wrong.
It could also be God.
Could also be God, but we don't know. Nobody really knows.
What if we go to heaven and God's a giant crawfish and we've all been eating?
God, every episode I do this.
Yeah.
Every episode, at the end of every episode, we say, "What if God was a?" For like the last 3 episodes.
Really?
There was I don't know, because there was what if God was a God was a wine mom. There was God was Gyn. Fucking Freudian slip right there. God was,
We should make a doctor to study that, I think. Call him maybe a gyn physician or something? I don't know.
Gyn physician, something like that. Ariana.
Gyno-ophthalmologist?
Ariana Gyn Day.
Are you a gyn mom? By definition, yes.
Yeah, I suppose so. Oh boy, Bradley, I think that's been an episode that we can be proud of and that we can end. Guys, hey, we tried a new format. I know I asked you to tell us about something earlier. I don't know what that was, but I asked you. MMA. Let us know about MMA on our social media if you want. Also, feel free to let us know if you hated the sort of different, like we kind of did. Oh, here comes Ted.
I would oppose. High as fuck.
What up, host? Ted, would you...
No, do not make him speak. Ted, would you like to lie down on the couch? We're going to vacate very soon.
Hey man, we're high as fuck up in here.
Alright, guys. Let me get the couch ready for you.
Guys, Ted's high as fuck up in here, so actually I think this week we're going to skip the pick of the week and everything. I think we're just going to do...
I didn't need him to come over the car ride home.
He needs the couch. This is like this. I was about to talk about how weird of an episode format we had because I was trying to do some new stuff with the way we connected things, and it was like just some new very unoriginal improv techniques. And I'm saying this over Bradley and Ted sort of losing it. Ted losing it in one way, Bradley losing it in another. Ted is very high. This is going to be for the Snapchat and for the Instagram. Bradley's getting pictures.
I said inchworm at the beginning, and I remember saying that after, but they were saying that happened after I said inchworm. I don't remember.
He doesn't remember, but he said something about an inchworm at the beginning.
Ted, here, you gotta, Ted, do not.
Count down from 100. I don't remember.
Dude, I didn't count down from 100 either.
Ted, I'm gonna ask you to stop talking. It's bad for you, dude.
No.
He's got this. He's fucking high, man.
Do not encourage him.
Ted, we'll take care of it. We can close the episode. We've done it before.
Hi, fuck.
Dude, me too, man.
All right.
Same.
The gas smelled like chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh, it smelled like chocolate? Oh, I like that. It did, guys.
Okay, me knowing that it smelled like chocolate. The gas. Okay, let me explain. The gas, they didn't tell me what it was. They were just like, breathe deeply. And I'm like, oh, it's chocolate. Oh, fuck. They give me the funny stuff.
He gave him the funny stuff. It's chocolatey as fuck.
And it didn't work.
It didn't work.
And he stabbed me with a meat needle. And he's like, okay. And then I'm here. I don't know how it works.
Well, he pushes it in, the needle, he pushes the top down and it injects the shit into your blood.
No, but I remember he put it in and I'm like, okay. I'm about to lose consciousness.
So was it okay when he put it in? Did you like that?
It hurt a little bit.
It hurt a little bit.
I gotta end the episode, or I will.
I'll end the episode. Hey guys, we're gonna do none of the.
We can do it really quick,
today.
really quick.
Well, I'm gonna do like the housekeeping, but I'm gonna skip the other stuff because it's way fucking funnier.
Are this Buckyballs?
There's not Buckyballs in his mouth.
Dude, open. No, wait. Okay,
it's a spit bubble.
Holy shit! I got so afraid for a minute.
Oh yeah, I did eat some of those.
You ate some Buckyballs. Dude, an electromagnet are gonna grow out of your body.
Aiden, what was your favorite idea of the episode?
My favorite idea of the episode, but an electromagnet's gonna grow out of his body.
Okay.
He ate Buckyballs.
My favorite idea of the episode is I'm really coming down here after his wisdom teeth surgery.
It's so funny.
All right. Pick of the week.
Jinx, Hadestown, the Broadway cast recording is finally out. It's fucking 2 hours long, which is twice as long as every other version of Hadestown. It's so fucking good. Holy shit. Oh my god, I love it. Okay. Thanks, Anais Mitchell. I know I recommended her. Here she is again. Bradley, you're up. Go.
Ted's was pee pee poo poo. But it's probably actually the Creeper Minecraft.
Yeah, because it's called poo pie.
Is that what you call your grandpa?
He's just saying, he's trying to say PewDiePie.
Poo pie.
Oh, PewDiePie. Is that what you call your grandpa?
He got caught on a stick, and he ride a pig. Mm-hmm. He caught a pig, poo.
On Minecraft?
On Minecraft. Oh my god, he might upload a new video.
You know, as you get older...
upload new video.
As you get older, PewDiePie upload new video, but sometimes you don't understand it as well anymore.
Okay. No way.
I'm not. Okay, he's gonna watch PewDiePie's new Minecraft video, and my pick of the week is I have a PS4 coming through the mail.
Mm-hmm.
On
good place for it to come.
Yeah, it'll be here sometime. It'll be. Don't talk. It'll be here in a bit. That'll be fun. That'll be a great time.
Be careful. Right. It might hurt a little bit when you plug it in.
Yeah. And then, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, the audience. Bradley just gestured at me and said thank you, but it's my closing thing, so I just was going to be an asshole about it. Hey guys, thank you guys so much for listening. Much appreciated. Bradley, that was so fun. Anyway, that was a good idea. Follow us on social media. We have a lot of them. We're at Good Idea Cast on the Twitter likes, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, etc. Facebook, we have a Facebook group called Good Idea Podcast. Very easy to find. Really, it's just, our name of the podcast is so simple. It's the thing you say to people when they have one. So just...
Eureka,
exactly. So look up Big Bang Theory on the iTunes podcast, and you'll find us under a light bulb, just like Bazinga. And here we are now, sort of coming to a close. We're on all the different podcatchers, and if Bazinga, exactly, Ted, thank you. I like the satisfied look on Ted's face. He looks like he just fucking came.
Do not...
Saying Bazinga. He thinks it's so funny. Bazinga, is that, would you liken a Bazinga to a nut, Ted?
Ba-bing.
Ba-bam.
So, like, sometimes I act high to be funny, and this one's a bit of a mix. I'm a little bit high, and I'm a little bit like, what?
So you're 100% high.
Do not take the Band-Aid off.
Don't fuck with the Band-Aid.
Is there any more gauze in my... I were like 2 pieces. Did
you swallow them?
I know. I was like...
All right.
Anyway, so follow us. If you like the show, give us a share, give us a subscribe, please. Give us a review and a rating. We could really use reviews and ratings. That really helps us out. I think we're going to break our download record this month. Thank you guys so much for that. It makes me so happy to see that people enjoy what we're making. I hope you have an awesome rest of your night. That was Good Idea. We're done here.
What does that mean, Ted?
I don't know.
What did you
did exactly
say?
what I needed.
Huh? Whatever.
Booga, booga.
We're done here.
All right.